This is a beginner's class that's designed to help improve your posture. For my class, I always love to use blocks. If you're needing to get your first set or replace some old ones, check out my link below. So let's take your blocks and we're gonna put them in a T shape on the mat, leaving a few inches in between the two. Your head's gonna go on this top one, and this one's gonna find itself somewhere in between your shoulder blades. Lying down, like I said, try to aim that bottom block somewhere in your shoulder blades. Try to get it in a good, comfortable spot. This is a really good position to help open up our chests while we get ready for practice. We're gonna start with 5 steadying breaths here. So take a deep inhale, and then exhale. This next one, try to make it a little bit longer than the first. Really try to imagine your breath flowing up through your belly, into your chest, and into your collarbones, and then releasing the way it came in. Collarbones, chest, and then your tummy. Last breath here, we're gonna inhale all the things we need for practice today. Maybe that's patience, maybe a little confidence, and then exhale all the things that don't serve us for today. All right, now gently lift yourself up. Let's remove those T blocks. I'm gonna set them off to the side at the top of my mat because we'll need them later for practice. We're gonna lay back down and do a full body stretch. Now here, I really want you to focus on what parts of my body are touching the ground, what parts are maybe a little bit lifted. Do you maybe have some tight spots? Because we're gonna check and see what our body feels like at the end of practice. Bring those knees in, give them a great big hug, rounding through the spine. Plant the feet, plant the hands. Lift those buns off the ground for some rolling bridges. So take a deep inhale, lift the arms up, and then exhale, set it all down. A couple more here. Lift the arms up, lift the buns, and exhale. This last one, really focus on engaging those quads, taking the spine all the way off the floor, and then exhale, set it all down. Now I'm gonna spread my feet about mat distance apart. We're gonna do a little bit of windshield wipers here. So rocking those knees over to the right and then to the left. Rock them to the right and the left. Keeping those toes facing toward the front of our mat. Knees don't have to go all the way down to the floor. Last one. All right, bring those feet back in just a little bit. We're gonna go back up into our bridge. And this time, bring that right leg up and then set the body down. And do 3 of these. Bring the right leg up, lifting up everything, and set it down. Try to engage those toes back towards the shins, pushing through the heel. Hold it and set it down. All right, let's switch it to the other side. So bring that left leg up, engaging those toes back towards the shin, set it down. Rising up, try not to over squeeze the glutes here. Last one. And release, set that foot back on the ground. All right, our last position here, we're gonna do a figure 4. So bring that right ankle onto the left knee. And for some people, this might be a stretch enough on that outer hip. If it's not, you can always bring that left foot off the ground and either hold the knee, hold behind the thigh, whatever is best for you. Release, and we're gonna switch it out. So the left ankle is on the right knee. You can keep it here, or you can bring it in a little bit closer to you for a nice outer hip stretch. All right, release, and let's set it all down and sit up. And this time we're gonna put our feet in a nice butterfly position. So feet are together. You're welcome to keep them as close as you would like or as far away as necessary in order to be comfortable. And we're gonna start some neck rolls. So bringing the head over to the left shoulder, rolling it down over to the right, and then back to where we started. Switching positions. If you feel a little bit of a sticky spot, feel free to sit there and pause for a second. Keeping the shoulders down and away. And back to center. Now you're welcome to either keep those butterfly feet or cross your legs again. Either way, we're gonna stick our arms out at our sides. And this is gonna be a good trap stretch here. So hands out at the sides, we're gonna bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Really engaging, pushing those hands far away. And bringing the right ear down as far as we can. You might kind of nod your head yes to feel a little bit different stretch in through those muscles. And then switch, bring it back to center. And bring that left ear down to the left shoulder. Nodding your head yes to see if you feel something a little bit different. And back to center. Last thing we're gonna do in a seated position, something I'm gonna call windmill arms. Bring your left hand to the small of your back and bring your right hand up somewhere around your neck, maybe in between your shoulder blades, maybe it's a little bit higher up toward your head. Either way, we're gonna switch positions. So we're gonna bring that left hand, palm is facing our neck or our shoulder blades, and that right hand, that palm is facing away on the small of our back. So these are gonna be what I'm gonna call windmill arms through the rest of this class. This is a great chest opener. It really counters everything that we do during our normal day as far as hunching over, texting on our phones, maybe we're typing away at a keyboard. This is really good to do if you just need a stretch at your desk chair. And when you're done, bring it back to neutral. We're gonna find ourselves on our hands and knees in tabletop position. All right, so in tabletop, we're making sure to press our pointer finger and our thumb. Really trying to push the floor away. We're not trying to sag into our shoulders here, so pushing the floor away. Our hands or our wrists are directly below our shoulders, and our knees are directly underneath our hips. We're gonna do a couple of cat-cows here. So on the inhale, we're gonna rise our spine up into a cat, and exhale into cow. Let's slow it down, making sure that we feel every single vertebrae moving with each of these cat-cows. Last one. Remember to keep pushing the floor away. And exhale, cow. Back into a nice neutral spine. We're gonna do a couple of bird dogs here. So keeping that left arm out, right leg back. We're gonna bring those into touch. So left elbow should touch the right knee. We're gonna push the floor away like that cat position and hunching our shoulders, and then bring it back out. 2 more of these. And then we're gonna switch. Let's plan it all out. Right arm out, left leg back. Make sure you found your balance before you get started. And then bring that right elbow to the left knee, pushing the floor away with the left arm, and give me 2 more. All right, back into tabletop. Still pushing the floor away, we're gonna bring that right leg up and we're gonna do a couple of hip circles here. So bring that circle forward, and then we're gonna reverse the circle, really warming up these hips for practice today. Set it on down and do the same for the left. And then switch your circle. We're gonna tuck the toes, really engage the core and push the floor away. If you do this so much, maybe your knees will start to lift off the floor. Keeping that core engaged, pushing away through the thumb and index side of your hands, and release. Very good. All right. Now we're going to start at the top of our mats. We're going to do a couple of sun A's here. In order to have good posture, we want to make sure that our hips, our shoulders, and our ears are all in line. In order to do that, we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to engage the core, so we're going to bring our hips kind of up and tuck them into our ribs, but we're also going to roll the shoulders back and sort of relax them down our spines. These cues are something that I'm going to mention throughout this class. Engaging the core, tucking those hips up into your ribs, and releasing or relaxing those shoulder blades back and down. So let's get back into our sun A's. Earlier I talked about those windmill arms. We're gonna just start with a couple of those. So bring that left hand to the small of your back and your right hand back towards your neck. And we're gonna switch them out just a couple of times here. Making sure to engage the core, keeping those shoulder blades back. Last one. Both hands up. Inhale, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise, nice flat, long spine here. Plant the hands, step back, lower all the way down to the belly. Now we're going to rise up into cobra. Nice and light through the hands, should not be over squeezing the glutes. And exhale, release. Give me a couple more of these. So inhale, rising up. Pressing through the pinky toe sides of the feet down toward the ground, and release. Last one. Nice long spine, no wrinkles in the back of your neck, and release. Plant the hands at your ribs, push up, and back into downward facing dog. We're gonna inhale, look up towards our hands. Exhale, step up towards our hands. Inhale, nice long flat back. And let it go for a forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, hands up overhead, and exhale, mountain. Let's get right back into it. Inhale, hands up overhead, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, fingertips to shins, nice long spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, lower to the belly. This time we're gonna do something a little bit different. Instead of cobra, we're gonna do locust, so bring those arms back. And when you inhale, we're gonna rise up our head and our feet. Try not to over squeeze the glutes and release. 2 more of those. So inhale up, nice tall, long spine, and release. Last one. Inhale, rising up, and release. Plant the hands back at your ribs. Push up, and back into downward facing dog. Inhale, look up at your hand. Exhale, step up. Inhale, rise up into a long spine and release into a forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, hands up overhead and back into Tadasana or mountain pose. Let's get started into our sun salutation bees. So inhale the arms up and exhale, sit back, hinging at the hips. Lighten the toes with your weight, heavy in the heels. Really tuck those hips into the ribs. And give me a couple of those windmill arms here. Try to opening up the chest. Take a deep inhale and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, fingertips to shins. Exhale, plant the hands, and this time we're just gonna step back into downward facing dog. Inhale, look up, raise that right leg, and step it on through. Spin the back heel down and rise up into our first warrior 2. Coming forward into side angle, welcome to bring your hand down by your ankle, or if you need, just rest your forearm lightly on your front thigh there. And then we're gonna reverse it. So bringing that right hand up toward the top for a reverse warrior. It's not a back bend, so nice tall, long spine reaching up and not back. And spin the hands down. Stepping back into plank, we're gonna lower down to the belly. And here we're gonna do a little bit of a pec stretch. We're gonna start with the right hand side. So we're gonna bring that right arm out at a 90-degree angle, and we're gonna kind of shift our chest over to the side a little bit. Plant that hand down, and then we're gonna look over to the left, kind of push up with our left arm, and even maybe bring that left leg up and over. You're gonna feel a really big stretch through the front of your shoulder here. Let's bring it back to center. And we're gonna push up, downward facing dog. Let's do the other side. So bring the left leg up, bring it on through, spin the back heel down, and looking into warrior 2. So 5 front toes are facing forward. Front knee is tracking through the middle of the front foot. We're gonna lean forward into side angle. Now remember, you can always modify here. So if you need, rest your forearm on that front leg, but keep it nice and light with the pressure. Now we're gonna reverse our warrior. Back arm is just lightly resting there, keeping those hips tucked into those ribs, nice tall spine. Cartwheel the hands back down to the floor. From your plank position, lower to the belly. We're gonna do that left side pec stretch. So bring your left arm out at a 90-degree angle. Move your shoulder over just a little bit to the left. Looking to the right, we're gonna push with our right arm in that right leg. And back to center. Push up into plank, back into downward facing dog. Take an inhale and look up at your hands, and then step up towards your hands. Inhale, nice long flat spine. Exhale, release into a forward fold. Inhale, arms rise up overhead, and exhale back to mountain. Inhale the arms up. We're gonna sink back into our chair position, keeping light in the toes, heavy in the heels. We're gonna bind our hands behind our back. Now I have to keep my hands interlaced. Palms are going to be flat and together. If you need, you can always bend your elbows just a little bit. Keep that energy down towards the ground, or run your thumbs down the base of your spine. We're gonna keep this bind as we release into our forward fold. And then gently release the bind, plant the hands. We're gonna step back into downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up, bring it on through. Spin the left heel down, and we're gonna rise up, hips facing forward into warrior one. Making sure that knee is tracking through the center of that front foot. Hips are facing forward. Be sure to engage those abs and keep those shoulder blades down the back. We're gonna keep our bind here. Let's bring those palms together, opening and broadening through the chest. Shoulders can be closer together. We're gonna lean forward for our humble warrior. Go ahead and release the bind. We're gonna look toward the center of our mat. Our feet should be parallel with the ends of our mat, so they're facing all in one direction. And we're going to come forward just a little bit, so that a little bit more, about 51% of our weight is in our toes, 49% is in our heels. And we're just gonna hang in a ragdoll position. So whether you wanna keep your hands on the floor, just for a little bit of balance, maybe you wanna grasp your elbows, we're just gonna dangle. It's a great chance to kind of get some of that extra weight off the bottom of our spine. Give it a little bit of a break. Remember to keep pushing through all four corners of your feet. If you feel like your knees are locked out, more than welcome to have a little bit of a bend there. Plant the hands and step back toward the front of the mat, back into plank, and then downward facing dog. Let's get the other side. So the left leg is gonna fly. Bring it on through and spin that right heel down. Keep those hips facing forward as we rise up into warrior one. Take a look down, make sure you got that knee tracking through the center of that front foot. Engage the abs and bring those hips up and in toward the ribs. We're gonna find that bind. Palms together, energy down, rooted towards the ground. We're gonna lean forward for our humble warrior. Gently release the bind, plant the hands, and we're gonna spin towards the other side of our mat, bringing our feet parallel to one another for our last ragdoll. Once again, welcome to grab the elbows, or if you need, keep your hands just gently on the ground for a little bit of stability. All right, coming back towards the top of our mat, step the left foot back, bring it on back to downward facing dog. Inhale, look up. Exhale, step up. Inhale, fingertips to shins. And exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, hands up overhead. And exhale, back to mountain. All right, guys, this is our last sun salutation B. Now let's get right into it. Bring the arms up overhead, sit back into chair. Here we're gonna do a little bit of cat-cows with our chair position. Bring our arms out at our side and kind of arch our back like we're in cow. And then we're gonna curl up into a little ball. So bring those arms together and round the back for a cat position. Give me two more of those. So cow, really opening up, and then cat, bringing it all so close together. Last one, open it up, and then exhale, letting it all go. Inhale, returning back to neutral, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise halfway, flat back here. And exhale, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Okay, right leg is gonna fly up. I'm gonna bring it on through. This time we're gonna hold our runner's lunge for just a little bit here. Just really try to feel that stretch in through the hips. If you're using your hands, really push the floor away. If you need to modify it a little bit, bring that back knee down, untuck the toes. Now we're gonna tuck the toes one more time as we rise up into a modified crescent pose. And then here's a tricky one for you guys. If you're able, tuck the toes and push up to a regular crescent. A really deep lunge there. Great opportunity to make sure that those shoulder blades are down the back, hips are tucked in towards your ribs, making sure we got that good posture. And do one more bind, so keep those hands behind your back, palms are sealed, chest is wide open. We're gonna lean forward. Now this time, when we go to release our bind, just put the left hand down. Keep that right arm in the small of your back, and then try to turn and open up toward the right side of the room. A little bit of a twist, but a really good chest opener. You can either look straight on or increase the stretch by looking up just a little. Plant the other hand, step back, downward facing dog. Left foot is gonna fly up, bring it on through. We're gonna stay here just for our runner's lunge stretch. Really try to sink into it with your hips. Once again, you're welcome to modify, bringing that back knee down. Just untuck the toes here. Couple deep breaths. Want to make sure that this knee is not extending over the toes. It's nice and in line with the ankle. All right, let's tuck those toes one more time and rise up into a modified crescent. Making sure to engage that core. And then here we go, engage those quads. We're gonna rise up into a full crescent here. Shoulder blades nice and relaxed. Knee is tracking through the center of that front foot. All those 5 toes are facing forward. Let's find our bind one last time for the class. Palms are sealed, chest is open, and hands are pulling down my spine towards the ground. I'm gonna lean forward. Plant the right hand. Option to keep the left hand in the small of the back. Really turn open for a good chest opener. All right, let's plant the hands. Bring the feet back to plank. Now from here, you're more than welcome to drop the knees. We're gonna sit back into child's pose. So untuck the toes and sit back into child's pose. This is a great opportunity to reflect on all the hard work that you've done so far. Really try to focus on your breath. Deep inhale and exhale. So let's rise back up into tabletop. And we'll lay flat on our backs. Okay, so nice and comfortable on our backs here. We're gonna bring the right leg and cross it over the left. We're gonna bring it over to the right side. You're welcome to keep your arms down at your side or out. Just make sure that when you're twisting here, your left shoulder is flat on the ground. Your knees do not need to go all the way down to the ground. Just really sink into the twist. Okay, back to center. Now let's curtsy the other way. Bring that left leg over the right. And we're twisting over to the left side of the room. Once again, making sure that that opposite shoulder or the right shoulder is staying flat on the ground. Take a deep inhale. See on your exhale if you can relax into a bigger twist. And then bring it back to center. All right, really give yourself a hug. Round through the spine. Last little chance to get any sort of massage on your back. And then we're gonna do a full body stretch. Now see how this compares to the beginning of class. Are any of those tight spots gone? Is more of your back flush with the ground. Maybe you released a little bit of tension from today's class. Now you're welcome. Bring your hands down at your side and get relaxed. And to stay in Shavasana for as long as you like, all you gotta do is hit pause. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to help improve your posture, and it was my honor to help you thrive in your yoga practice.